Hey bitches, welcome to episode 43 of Roll for Girl Dinner, where we let the dice answer the age-old question, what should we have for dinner? Today we'll be using these dice. These are my dice. I call them girl dice. Now let's get started with the roll for protein. 6, smoked salmon. I am tragically on my last package of these and no longer have the box, but I get them from Costco and I can't wait to go get more. And honestly, if you see this at Costco, buy yourself some. You will not regret it, unless you don't like salmon. Next up, let's roll for some cheese. 4, Gouda. Today we'll be using Beamster Black Label Gouda that is aged, the pretentious stuff. This is much harder than the Gouda that you're probably used to, but it is delicious and I'm excited. Now it's time to roll for some vegetables. Double 2, double celery. The betrayal. Moving on to the roll for carrier. 1, this is finger food now. Now let's roll for some Razzle Dazzle. That's a 9 for artichoke hearts and a 15 for pickled red onion. Today we'll be using these Reese quartered artichoke hearts that are in water. I do have some that are in oil that actually would taste better, but considering that this has to be finger food, I'm not gonna be sticking my fingers in oil. And of course we have our Mazzetta pickled red onions. These are so good, they improve every meal, and I am very excited to have them as part of this one. Maybe I'll just fill up all of the celery pieces with this red onion, and then I won't actually be able to taste the celery. Not a bad idea. Time to get saucy with the roll for sauce. 11, goat cheese spread. This goat cheese spread is a homemade concoction that originated out of episode 15 that was accidentally delicious. If I remember correctly, it has goat cheese, Kalamata olives, and spicy honey. Now, I have an idea. It's called Celery Flavor Prevention. Very original, very genius. Nobody's ever done this before. Now let's wrap this up with a roll for sparkling water. 1, unflavored. I'd like you to know that I'd rather take my whiskey neat, my coffee black in my bed at 3, and my sparkling water without human rights violations, which is why I don't have a soda stream. Also, this one's prettier. Let's eat, bitches. I think that a fancy little glass is in order for today. No reason in particular, why do you ask? Just a casual girl dinner at home, no big deal. Also, we're gonna use this teacup today instead of my regular coffee cup, no reason. And, as far as getting finger food today, this is kind of best case scenario because all of these things are things I eat as finger food anyway, except for celery because I try not to eat celery. Unfortunately, the dice decide otherwise on my behalf. Apparently, they think I need a little bit more hydration and some fiber. We're not going to talk about it. And look, I get it. Sometimes you just need to eat some angry fiber water, but, I do it as rarely as possible. So here I am procrastinating, eating everything else on the plate, and let's try the smallest one first. Maybe, just maybe this spread will be enough to cover the taste. No, it's not. It's not, and I'm going to be all kinds of bratty about it. On the thought of which, Kendra from the future feels the need to tell you that I had no idea that my facial expressions were so dramatic here. Apparently there's something about wearing feathers in your hair that just makes you a little bit of a diva. Also, there's very much something about wearing body jewelry that makes you shimmy excessively. And of course, we come to the point in the episode where I ask myself, if I were to play a character who would rate this girl dinner a perfect 10, who would I be? Allow me to introduce Delalia Lavar, a water elemental showgirl who was the star of the show with her sparkling watery skin. She is beauty, she is grace, she will cut off your fucking fingers if you even think about touching her. Which unfortunately is, not great for ticket sales. Side note to interject here that if you add enough red onion to the celery, you can no longer taste the celery, and then it tastes good. Back to Delalia. Even worse for ticket sales was the night that she was so fed up with the men in the audience that she decided to create a water-activated poison that she applied to the outside of her outfit. Funny thing happens when you get an overheated establishment with cold cocktails. Sweat and condensation on the outside of the glass. Baby, the hands of the men in the audience that night were moist. But also, another funny thing happens when you poison half of your audience, and totally unrelated, I'm sure. Sometimes you just have to go in the run, pack up all your things, take to the adventuring life in a land far, far away. Yeah, so if I were her, I would rate this a perfect 10. As it is, I, Kendra, rate it an 8.
This is my meal. I call this girl dinner. Girl dinner. Girl dinner.